Perfect.
Would you like to support the Insiders? Pick up some merch now. Support us by getting a shirt, a hoodie. Support Abby's Window. Get a Shenanigans shirt. Whatever you'd like. Pick up some merch now. Insiders Pro Wrestling. The link is at the end of the video.
What's going on, guys? Happy Sunday night and welcome to another episode of Between the Ropes with the Insiders, of course. Myself and Jeff are here to deliver some news and some other things tonight about the last week in wrestling. Of course, we may have some grievances to talk about. We've got some other subjects as well. Lots of stuff to talk about coming off of that last ever Impact Wrestling show last night. So it was a kind of a bittersweet moment. But it ended really well, and it was a really, really good show to end it all, and just kind of said goodbye to Impact last night. So it was kind of cool. Jeff, I got to start off though with one quick little spicy thing here.
Yeah, go ahead.
For those of you who are NFL fans, first of all, I did put a message in the chat. Please do not spoil the game. I'm going to watch it afterwards. So don't be a wise guy and stick up a score, because if you do, you're going to go bye-bye. You're going to go bye-bye. You're going to get bounced. I'm just warning you. So don't do it. Don't do it. So just warning you, unless you really feel like being that kind of person. But I have to say, you want to know why I have hatred for Philadelphia? Do you want to know why? I'm watching. I just got to see the start of the game, and who comes on but Bryce Harper and his stupid bearded, long-haired face. And you know what he starts to say? Growing up, I was a Cowboy fan, and now I play in Philadelphia, and blah blah blah. But you know what? Philly fans are just disgruntled ex-Cowboys fans. That's what you are. We didn't want you around. You got booted out, and you're just disgruntled ex-Cowboy fans. So you know what, Philly fans? Bite me. Just bite me. I hate Philadelphia with every fiber of my being. If I didn't have to live so close to that stupid city, and it's good that I'm 2.5 hours away from it, because honest to God, work today, all you saw in my store in work were green jackets, green hats, green. And you know what? When they end up losing, you know where those green hats and green jackets and all that stuff go? Many times, especially if they're online and stuff like that, dude, it'll get burned up in a trash can, because that's how the Eagle fans are. They are the worst. And I'm sorry if you're a Philly fan and you watch our show, but you are the worst. You are the absolute worst fan base in America. I'm just saying. All right, I'm done. I'm over my NFL rant. Tazzy's here. What's up, Tazzy? So yeah, we got a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff going on in the world of wrestling, obviously, and that's what we're here for. So welcome to the show. Just a couple of quick notes. We've got, we're going to let you know about Abby's. Of course, Jody has been not feeling well, so please keep her in your thoughts, and hope she gets better soon. We'll keep you posted on that, and we will have something for sure on Thursday. We just don't know yet what it's going to be because they haven't really said anything yet about it, and I'm not really sure what they're going to show or what they're going to do. If they're going to just do awards for the next couple of weeks, we probably will end up doing a classic TNA show. I would imagine, because it seemed like we got a lot of interest about doing something like that. So that's probably what we will do, rather than just watching, repeats and no new matches. If they do decide to do new content or whatever, then we'll watch it. So we'll get back to you on that. I'll let you know as the next couple of days go by. I'm sure by probably Tuesday at the latest, I'm sure we'll hear something about it. So I will let you guys know about that. So really this week, we just probably will have the Thursday show and then this show this upcoming week, so lighter week. But I will say that, and I told everybody this in the show last night, but if it didn't come out, I'm going to get the awards going. So between tomorrow and Tuesday, my 2 days off, I will have the awards done and ready to go. I will have that poll out and ready to be voted on, and get all those out for our TIGS Awards show, which is coming up. It's coming up really quickly because we have to do it before TNA starts, and obviously before the Rumble as well. So that is going to be on the 7th. So Sunday the 7th is going to be our TIGS Award show already coming up. So, and of course, Tazzy joins us for that, and it'll be fun. So please make sure we got record votes last year. Please make sure you vote in the polls to make your voice heard. This is your award show. It always has been. So you make the votes. You pick the winners. We will announce the winners, and then we will end up picking our own and letting you know who we choose for each of those categories. So make sure you join us on the 7th for our award show, and please vote in the award show as well. I think that's about it for news and stuff like that for us in the upcoming week. So let me just welcome some people in. What's up, Jeff? How are you, man? Coming off that cool show last night.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Final resolution was great, wasn't it? It was a lot of fun and had a lot of different things. And I'm going to apologize because my microphone and everything is not working great. So I'm sorry. Right. I don't have the soundboard tonight. So, we won't have that. I apologize. But yeah, I thought Final Resolution was great. Mm-hmm. I thought that yesterday was just a great day all around, and I'll get to that. If you haven't seen Twitter or anything over the past couple of days, I'll get to that. But yeah, it's been a good week until I saw some stuff a little bit earlier that I'm going to address in my grievance. But yeah, it's been a good weekend and a lot happening, as it always does in the world of wrestling.
Yeah, definitely there are. And I know what Jeff's talking about. I'm going to let him talk to you about that, though, because it was really cool. He shared it with me earlier today. So, all right, let me welcome in some people. We got Brandon Wayne Lewis. We have Clown is here. We have Jeremy Dunderman, a member of our channel. Welcome, Jeremy, as always. Jeremy is always here. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you being a member of the channel. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. We've got Deanna is here, who is not watching football. We have Dylan. We have Derek says, my team sucks. Congrats, Jeff. Yes, Derek's Atlanta Falcons lost to Jeff's Tampa Bay Bucks today. James Grant, what's up? Mac McCall, hello. How are you? Greg is here. Bonkers is here. Dylan is here. James Chadwick is here. Well, look at that. He says, I'm awake for once. Welcome, James. Yeah, we don't normally see James on a Sunday. He's usually sleeping off the last week of wrestling that he watched.
And deservedly so.
Yes. Yeah. James does a lot of wrestling watching. So, yes. Brandon Davey is here. What's up, Brandon? Man, this week was nuts. Brandon Sandman is here as well. Good evening to you. John G is here. Your Bills won. Yes. Jeff, the pictures of your kids was cool. Yep. We've got Bonus Babies in the house. What's up? We've got Robert Cortez saying TNA. Yes, what's up, Robert? We've got DJB Tazzy. Yeah, it is on to TNA for sure. The TNA era started yesterday, man. DJB Tazzy, you thought I was going to do the Green Giants? No, I'm not singing any stupid Philly song or that idiotic Eagles theme song either. That's worse. That's horrendous. I like to pop someone in the face when they sing that stupid song. I forgot he was a Washington National. I don't care. He's a Philly now. It doesn't matter where he comes from. He's on the wrong side of the ball. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you came from. If you're playing for Philly now, you're a moron. Damian Robinson is here. Manny Ken is here. What's up with you? Ryan is here. What's up, Ryan? How are you? Jason Stauffer is here as well. So, Jason, are you spoiling stuff for me?
Jason,
you got to read notes, buddy. You got to read notes. I don't want to see anything about the game. Nothing. I don't want to see anything about the game. Please.
We'll let that one slide.
Yeah. No more stuff about the football game. So, see, now you're gonna make me look. Why is he warming up?
Well, Joe, while you're looking, we did have a breaking news story that I wanted to get to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just because I know that a lot of people were concerned last week when Trevor Lawrence went down in the Jags game, and I know this has nothing to do with wrestling, kinda, but maybe it does. But I just wanted to let everyone know that I actually got an inside scoop as to where the golf cart was, or a cart that could be used for Trevor Lawrence. So I just wanted to let everyone know I got a little bit of footage that I wanted to share that I was sent over, and maybe this will help shed some light on where the golf cart was. Unfortunately, the Jaguars lost today, I believe, and Trevor Lawrence had a few interceptions. But I'll say this, at least he was back. I did not think by looking at that injury that he'd be back, but he's back. So, but yeah, this is wow. Okay. So this is the footage that I was sent over. Okay. So
that looked horrible.
I guess that was that's where the cart was during the game last week.
That's hilarious.
All right, I had to do something, to
that was awesome.
Have a little bit of fun.
I still remember. I think were we not, if I remember correctly, did we not do that pay-per-view? That may have been the only AEW pay-per-view I think we did. I think it was. Yeah. Because I remember watching that on there. That was the night of that Stampede match, and I'm almost positive we did that pay-per-view. It was literally the only one I think we've ever done because of circumstances.
We'll say circumstances.
Yeah, I'll just say because of circumstances. Yes. So yeah, that's great, man. Oh, I love it. Awesome. All right. So, let's see. We got everybody introduced here. We got figured out all who is here. Oh, I think we have. Johnny Bates is here. What's up, Johnny Bates? How are you, man?
What's up, Bates?
Been a while. It's been a while. Awesome. So, all right, we're gonna get into it. We will talk about first. We go to our little breaking news segment, which is right up there now. There's not a whole lot, I would say, of breaking stuff, but we could talk about with some of the stuff we mentioned on last night's show. We'll talk a little bit about Dianna Purrazzo, because if you haven't heard, supposedly, and Dianna responded to, I think, Draven, who tweets a lot of stuff about Impact. Yeah. Draven tweeted out a picture of a GIF, really, of her, video of her coming out on last night's show and saying this could be the last time that we see an entrance of Dianna Purrazzo in an Impact Wrestling ring. And then you saw Dianna responded with a little eyeball and just put like a little eyeball emoji there. So Not really too sure what's going to happen with Dianna. All we do know is from what we hear from the news sites and stuff like that, and what they pretty much said is that the talks between her and Impact / of course TNA now have stalled, and she is going to explore free agency was the words that they used. So nothing coming from Dianna's, coming from her, nothing on her Twitter or anything like that. No quotes. But this is what the only thing I have read or heard up to this point. So we did talk about it a little bit on last night's show, and it is kind of breaking news. Hopefully this doesn't happen because she's amazing. She's been a staple of Impact Wrestling's Knockouts division, and they wouldn't be where they are without Dianna Purrazzo. So, Jeff, I'm hoping that I don't know. I'm hoping that the two sides can come together. I'm hoping that they can somehow convince her to stay. But again, I say this all the time. It really comes down to, and it's not just money. A lot of people think it's just money, but it's sometimes just a wrestler's dream to do something else. And with Dianna, Jeff, when you're left go from somewhere else, right, and you leave somewhere else, sometimes your drive of yours is to get back there and say, you know what, look at me now. Look what or maybe you're going to go to another company and say that back to them, a competitor, let's say, and say, look at me now. Look what you let go and look how I'm doing. So she has that possibility in both cases. If she wants to go back to WWE and have a triumphant return to there, almost like what we're seeing from CM Punk now, or if she wants to go and take an offer from AEW and then kind of just can stick it to WWE a little bit. So, or like I said, it could just be a dream of hers as to where she wants to go. Does she want to go back and, like James Chadwick is saying, unfinished business in WWE? Is that her dream? Does she want to be in WWE in front of the larger audiences, in front of bigger cameras, possibly in a WrestleMania at some point? It could very well be. And we don't know that. We won't know that until something does indeed happen, and then maybe she'll tell everybody when she comes out and we see her get in the ring. Either way, Jeff, just an amazing competitor, amazing wrestler, one of the best women in wrestling today, no doubt. And whichever way she goes, Jeff, I hope she does stay. But if she does choose to leave, we're going to miss her big time.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's been a top 3, if not number 1, women's wrestler since she's been in Impact.
Yep.
It's interesting, right? All you need sometimes is an opportunity to showcase your talent.
Yep.
And Impact gave her that opportunity, and she absolutely delivered. Selfishly, I'd love to see her stay in TNA. I will add to the breaking news that Britt Baker also retweeted that. So again, like you said, she could be going, who knows where she's going. All that really matters though is that she's happy,
right? And
she goes to a place where she feels like she can continue to showcase her talent,
right?
I think that's the most important. And I'm going to add this because I feel like this is probably going to be a theme tonight. It is fans don't get to dictate where someone goes,
right,
or what they do or how they do it.
Yep.
We can always have an opinion. That's fine. But our opinion isn't, it doesn't make someone else's life stop or go.
Yep.
It shouldn't. I don't think the person tweeting behind an avatar that is of a cartoon character or whatever, or of a fake profile, I don't think Dianna Purrazzo is staying awake at night saying, I really need to consider what this person who remains faceless and nameless says. Nope. And that's not a shot at anyone. That's at the folks that that hide behind these profiles that send out all this awful stuff like you better do this or you better do that. These people have their own lives. They're going to do what they want to do,
Yep.
and that's the way it needs to be. And what matters is their happiness and what's best for them and their family.
Yep.
We can
Yeah.
all have our opinions, we can all have our theories, we can all have our fantasy booking, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, these people are they deserve to have the right to do what they want to do and not have a bunch of jackasses um, saying stuff or trying to make them feel terrible about a decision they're making that betters their life.
Very true. Yeah, and listen, the other thing that people could consider about people, those of people are the doom and gloom saying, "Oh, she's definitely gone." Remember, her husband's in Impact or in TNA, and he's going to be in TNA. I don't know what his contract status is, but he's there too, so that could be something as well. Sometimes the couples like to be together, and then again, sometimes it's like Mickey James and Nick Aldis, and they do different things. So, like Jeff said, this is none of our business. This is why I hate this. See, this kind of stuff in the past we would never have known this. We would never have known this. We would just not see her on the show for a while, and then she would come back somewhere else and appear somewhere else. We wouldn't know. We wouldn't know about her personal business or about contracts and all this stuff. And that's why I say a lot of times that we know too much. We know too much. There's just too much information that's made public and doesn't need to be. It's none of our business about what people's contract terms are. Who cares? So Jeff's 100% right. Whatever she does, she's got to do for herself to be happy. I certainly hope that she goes somewhere where she's going to be utilized and featured, because there are places out there that certainly don't maybe do that enough. And so I'm hoping that wherever she goes, she gets her whatever she wants as her dream. She gets, because she deserves it. She's just a fantastic competitor.
Yep.
All right. I don't know. I don't think there was really much else in the way of breaking news. I'm trying to think. Other than the wrestling shows itself, I kind of don't think so. This is kind of a quiet time of the year. I just thought, Jeff, guess what? I listened to you guys all know I listen to Busted Open. I tell you that all the time. I was listening to their podcast today. They do their master's class on Sundays where they have Bully and Tommy. Guess what the title of their master's class was today?
What?
Airing of Grievances. Oh, I mean, look, it's December. That comes up a lot in December because Festivus is from Seinfeld and it's from December and it's like that. But I'm just... I looked at my radio and I had to do a double take when I looked at the title and I'm like, it's called Airing of Grievances. I mean, Jim Cornette's done it. It's a common thing. It's it's definitely something. But we were doing it quite a while now, so not gonna say that no one's ever thought of that before, because I'm sure that's been out there a lot. But just saying. All right. All right. Moving on. Let's go to our first topic of the night. And that, of course, is Final Resolution. So, of course, this show last night was phenomenal. If you didn't get to see it, it's a part of history now. It is absolutely a part of history now. If you come out to watch our show and maybe you're not watching Impact Wrestling, I know a lot of you out there do, that we have in our chat, but a lot of you don't. You may want to give this show a watch. It's on YouTube. You can go watch it for free someday when you're not doing anything else, when you don't have anything else on. Check it out, because it was a fantastic show and a wonderful way. The match at the end of the show between the Machine Gun, Zack Sabre Jr. and Josh was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. and it really was good stuff here. Was just all around good stuff. We had some surprises. We got Trent Seven signed to TNA last night in the ring, which was amazing. Santino Marella was all over the place, being the director of Authority and doing all his stuff. So it was a really fun night. I'm sure there were tears shed. Wrestlers in the back that may not be continuing with them going forward. I'm sure there was some of that. But all I had to say after watching this show last night, and you can see some pictures there, Giselle Shaw and Dianna Purrazzo, we don't know. That right there could have been the last match of Dianna in an Impact ring as well, kind of shaking Giselle's hand, maybe putting Giselle over just a bit here too, as the next big heel going forward. Maybe that's what this was. But so many cool moments. The ring looked amazing. The setup was amazing. But again, Jeff, all I have to say is a big thank you. Thank you to Impact Wrestling for the last 6 years. Thank you for what you've done for us. I mean, we wouldn't probably have our channel or be doing what we do without Impact Wrestling. Thank you to all of the wrestlers, of course, who week after week after week after week, traveling all over the country and outside the country and just, going all out and giving us these amazing matches. Thank you to Scott D'Amore for having a vision and for looking to the future and for getting back to TNA. And thank you to all of the people who work with Impact and the people who, go to the shows and set up the rings and do all that work. A lot of people forget about them, but thank you to Impact Wrestling. This year has been one of the best years that we have watched along with them. Every show, every week, we didn't score a show less than an 8.7 or an 8.8 this year. That's pretty phenomenal. There were no clunkers. There were no bad shows. It was a tremendous year for them. And, man, it is just looking up at what we're going to see next. And so, Jeff, got to revisit Impact a little bit because we had so many good memories on our channel with our community and you guys out there watching this show week after week and watching the pay-per-views. It was just so much fun. And you can see, look at all the stuff we have seen here. Just all the celebrities that would come, all the people that would stop in from time to time, the people from New Japan, Jay White, you can see in the picture. We had so many cool things over the past 6 years. It was just wonderful. And we were with them for about four, I'd say. Yeah. 3.5, 4.
Yeah. 3.5.
So yeah, just a great bunch of memories for us and a lot of memories for the fans. And Jeff, it was just a really nice way to close it all out.
Yeah, it was. It was an awesome night. We got some great matches. I thought we'd get really good matches. I thought it would. Okay, we got it. I thought we'd get really good matches, but they were some stellar matches. And I mean, honestly, that main event might be a late match of the year contender, I think.
Yep.
But you go back, like you said, Trent Seven being signed. I thought that was a cool moment with Speedball and Scott D'Amore. And again, like we talked about with Dianna, what's gonna happen? Is that gonna be the last moment? And are they going to use that last moment to catapult Giselle in the Knockouts division in TNA in 2024? Because that was a statement, I would say.
Yeah.
That was a big statement from Giselle. So, I thought it was a great night. And again, like you said, thank you, Impact. That honestly, we really grew as a channel because of it, because we were doing something unique at the time. And, we were able to connect with some really cool people and continue to. So, thank you, Impact, for allowing us to share your great work every week. So it's been a lot of fun, and looking forward to what we're going to see in TNA wrestling in 2024. It's going to be great.
Yeah, no doubt. And we all look forward now to it is TNA. We are turning the page to TNA time, and we're maybe a month or so away, a little over a month away from TNA Hard to Kill, and seeing what we're going to get there. And we're going to talk more about this because we had some other things shown to us that's going to be at that Snake Eyes thing. Like what's that all about? Snake Eyes is getting, the announcement of the matches and the people that are going to be at Snake Eyes is incredible. And that isn't even the pay-per-view. That's the day after the pay-per-view. So we're going to have to wait and see. Jeff, we mentioned this last night on the show saying, like, what are they doing here? Because you'd almost expect those things to be on the pay-per-view. They're not. They're going to be on the next night, which I'm assuming is going to be their kickoff show for TNA. So Snake Eyes will be the very first live show, will be shown the following Thursday. Probably is my guess. I don't really know. This is all kind of new. So I'm not really sure how they're going to do that, but man, oh man. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but unbelievable. Just an unbelievable night. Wonderful send off to TNA or to Impact. And just a lot to be thankful for. From what we got from them. And we've Tazzy brought up in the chat, thanks for the peaches. Do you remember with RVD going way back with RVD right at the beginning when we were doing this?
Watching it on Twitch.
Watching it on Twitch with the twerking and and
yeah,
how much it changed over the years. Some of the people that were there when we started and people that weren't there when it was done. And oh man, just so many cool moments of wrestling over the years. And like I said, this is kind of uncharted territory because we don't usually see companies end and then start over. It doesn't happen very often. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be a fun journey. And hopefully you will all come along with us. And again, I'll say this one last time. If you're not watching Impact, and that maybe some of you didn't because you thought, you know what, it's too hard to catch up. I'm not going to know anybody. I don't know who the people are. I'm not going to understand what's going on. I'm not going to know the storylines or whatever. Well, guess what? Now you have a chance to start from the beginning. You can start watching from the very beginning of a wrestling show where you get introduced to characters, you get introduced to storylines, and all of that right from the get-go. So if you are not doing anything Thursday nights and you're a WWE fan, you're an AEW fan, and you have never checked out Impact at all, you may want to come out and check out TNA. It is going to be a lot of fun. Hey, give the first episode a shot. See what you think. You might find you like it, and you might find that you might have another show you want to watch every week. So nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Very cool. So we say goodbye to Impact and we move on. Let me see. We got some other people in the chat. We got Jack Haynes. Hello. We got Manny, Tazzy, of course. Alexa Bliss Gamer is here. Noob and Company. Hello, Noob. How are you? Thank you always, Noob, for the shout outs weekly from him. Crispy Chicken for you is here as well. Hello to all of you. So moving on, Jeff. What do we got next?
All right. So we're going to go to the announcement of TNA Plus, Joe, and
man, dude,
and I'm gonna bring this up just because you talked about it.
Yep.
But there's that just one match, by the way, for that Snake Eyes taping. We're assuming.
Yeah, dude, this is incredible. Now I'm gonna pull up really quickly because I'm gonna go to our channel and pull this up because this TNA Plus thing, man. If you were a subscriber of Impact Plus, you will automatically be converted over to TNA Plus, but with a special they're going to be offering you. And I'm gonna just read this. This is what they put out there. TNA Plus Wrestling. Hey, Impact fans, on December 14th, 2023. So that's just coming up in just 4 days. Impact Plus will become TNA Plus, a new and improved streaming experience for wrestling fans. The regular price of your Impact Plus subscription will change as follows. The monthly subscribers go from $7.99 to $9.99 a month, so it's $2 more a month, featuring TNA Plus live specials, full access to the TNA Plus library, exclusive content, and more. So your annual subscription goes from $72 to $95. It features but here's where it's amazing. TNA pay-per-view events, including Hard to Kill, Rebellion, Slammiversary, and Bound for Glory, the big ones, the ones that were on Fight that we had to pay $40 for, are now on the app. So you don't have to go and get these from Fight. You pay the $9.99. You get these pay-per-views included, which is pretty awesome. It also has all the other stuff included with it as well. As they mentioned before, TNA Plus live specials. So that'll be all of the other pay-per-views besides the ones they just mentioned. Full access to the library, like we said, exclusive content and more with the other read here. As a thank you for being a loyal subscriber, which is why I resubscribed, you will be emailed a special offer on December 14th to save on your subscription. So more than likely, if you sign up again, you're going to be mailed an offer to get it cheaper. So this is all a win-win. We look forward to seeing you on TNA Plus. This is a win-win. I had it last night, and I was checking out the pay-per-view on it a little bit. But this is amazing for fans, for Impact fans. You are going to get these. Listen, for that price alone, four pay-per-views that are on Fight. Think about the math. $40, $80, $120, $160, right? $160 you were paying for 4 pay-per-views. Now you're not. You're paying the $9.99 a month. Plus you're getting everything else. So I don't know. This to me sounds pretty amazing. I would tell anybody that's an Impact fan to get it if you can. I know overseas, they've got to straighten some things out with that over there. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. I'm sure they will come up with something to do over there. It doesn't, honestly, James, it doesn't say. The announcement did not say. Just saying the Impact Plus, it just said everything I read. It did not say anything about overseas. So that I'm not sure of. I'm sure we'll hear more details before the 14th comes or when the 14th comes. But that and the fact that we just don't know about YouTube. We don't know what's going to happen with YouTube. I don't know if they're going to continue on with YouTube. I know that their weekly show is going to stay on Access. I doubt they'll move that. Maybe we were talking about this last night. We just don't know yet. Maybe Access will have the Access will broadcast it on their app as well as the channel, which would be awesome. Right now they have an app for Access, but they do not have any of the wrestling on it. So I don't know. Maybe they'll do something with that where they'll have it on their app. Would make a little more sense than having it on YouTube. People are kind of getting away from YouTube a little bit. And there's a ton of ads on YouTube. You guys know when you watch our streams, if you're watching live and stuff like that, you know how many ads you're getting. It's been tough. And so, yeah, I really don't know. We don't have answers to any of that. I'm sure we will get it. In the future. I don't know that they'll move off YouTube right away because they've been doing it for so long, but maybe they'll have some kind of plan down the road. But man, I don't know. I think this is pretty good. So I don't think so, James. It doesn't say that. Let me see. I mean, it does have that under annual subscribers. Monthly subscribers. Yeah, it does have that kind of sectioned off under annual. It could be. Maybe it is. It could be annual. But even still, now let's get out the old calculator here. 95.99 divided by 12 is, well, geez. that's $7.99 a month. If you divide that $95.99 divided by 12, that's $7.99 a month. So you're getting it for even less. You're paying $2 less. You're paying $7.99 instead of $9.99. And then if they're going to give you some sort of plan, I don't know. I worked in retail all my life. I'm a salesperson, in nature, but I don't know. To me, that all sounds pretty good, Jeff. I mean, it sounds like a deal.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly, I don't think people understand how big of a deal it is in terms of them not only rebranding and relaunching the company, but also doing so with a streaming service right off the bat.
Yep.
And Tazzy kind of hinted at this in the chat, but folks have also been making they're trying to make ties between the streaming service, the company that's going to be hosting this, which is Endeavor, which is the parent company of, we all know. So, I've seen people say, oh, well, does this mean that maybe we get some working relationships down? Hey, maybe we do. Maybe we do. But I think this is a great thing for TNA fans. I really do. I feel like if it's not stipulated where you have to buy the yearly subscription up front to get all four, and if you don't have to do that, and it's just, hey, it's $7.99 a month and you get it all, that's a heck of a deal. I mean,
it really is.
That's a heck of a deal.
Yeah.
So, but hopefully they get everything figured out with YouTube. A lot of people are accessing the show through YouTube, and I don't want those people to be displaced or not be able to watch the show for whatever reason.
Right.
So hopefully they're able to do something to take care of all of those people.
Yeah, I would imagine they'll transition it. If they do decide to do something where they move off of it, I'm sure they will probably transition it and not just say, well, we're done there.
Yeah.
That's usually not the way to go, especially if you have your fans. That's the last thing you want to do, is to cordon off a group of fans that you had watching on YouTube weekly and just shut it down. So I don't think that'll happen anytime soon. If they're going to do that, they might decide to switch up somewhere down the road, but I think that they will do that a while, probably down the road a ways, transition people from it. So, but I mean, look at what we got here on that screen. They announced these. We've got No Surrender, which is February 23rd in New Orleans, Louisiana. And then we got Bayou Blast, of course, which is Saturday the 24th. So as you can see, they're naming these other, just like they did with Hard to Kill and with Snake Eyes. They're naming these shows, and they would never do this before. This is kind of new. So I don't know what this means. I don't know if that means that when we see Hard to Kill, then they announced that Thursday is going to be Snake Eyes and not necessarily just a TNA show. Maybe they call it TNA Snake Eyes. Maybe this is what they're going to do with the recorded programs. They might have names for these I don't know. It's all very up in the air. We just don't know. But then you see there Bayou Blast, which you could see is going to probably be recorded the day after No Surrender, and then so they're recording two in the same city, like they did before. So very similar to how they did that before. And then they would show that so Bayou Blast technically would then be the next week's show on the YouTube channel. So I'd imagine that's what it'll still be. But this is, look how far in advance we're getting here, and how they're planning all this. And what's cool is, man, there's that TNA logo up on the screen. So this is, I don't know, man. They're going to have all eyes on them, Jeff, in January and in Vegas. And I said last night on the show, I'm just excited to see the special effects. I'm excited to see the intros. I'm excited to see what the ring looks like. I'm just excited for all of it. Who's going to show up there? We had talked on this show about possibly getting maybe a Mike Tenay calling the initial match or something. We don't know what we're going to get here. But man, Jeff, it's exciting, and I really hope that they can somehow keep it under wraps so we don't get it spoiled.
Yeah. Anytime we can get surprises, that's a good thing. Yep. So yeah, let's keep it under wraps and not spoil this like we get so many things spoiled these days. So
yep, absolutely. All right, well, excited for TNA, but we're moving on. What's up next, Jeff?
All right, up next, so we get to talk about the devil in AEW a little bit.
Um,
Who's the freaking devil in AEW? And it kind of seems like things are taking a little bit of a turn, right?
Yeah, I didn't get to see I didn't get to see AEW this week. I've been pretty busy with work and stuff like that. I didn't get to see it this week, so I'm gonna let you talk about it, Jeff. If there's something I saw, when I was looking at the notes for the show, and I saw you said storyline takes a turn. I probably didn't see it, so I'm gonna let you discuss what that is. And then I'll tell you what my thoughts are on it after that. But what exactly happened? Because I did
Well,
not.
let's start. No, let's start there. Let's start with what your thoughts are.
Okay. I have to agree with what I heard Bully Ray talking about. So all the credit goes to him, but I have to agree with him because I'm starting to believe, and this is after the whole incident with Hangman Page and everything like that. I'm starting to believe that this, and it took me until Bully Ray mentioned it to remember this. Very similar. It reminded him, of course, of his time in Aces and Eights and how nobody really knew he was the leader because it kept going to scenes and things of him being beaten up in the back by the other members of Aces and Eights. So, and Bully kind of said, starting to remind me of something I did back in the day. And that's what I'm kind of maybe wondering and starting to believe is whether or not the devil is the devil himself. And that is MJF. MJF is an amazing talent. He's really, really good at what he does. But I will say this, even though everybody's saying, what's the slogan that he calls him? You're my, what does he say now? I'm to the crowd. I'm your, what do they call him? Oh crap. I forgot the name. When they chant to say like what he is, you're my whatever. And, but I'm starting to wonder if it's time for him to go back to being a heel. He's just so darn good at it. He is just scumbag. Thank you, Deanna. Yes, you're our scumbag, right? I'm your scumbag. He says,
I'm your scumbag.
A scumbag is a scumbag, guys, no matter how you put it. He will always be a heel. Always. No matter how he's portraying a face right now, he will always be a heel. I think that this could be him doing this, that he's just pulling a big swerve. You're still going to have that match coming with Adam Cole. The only two possibilities I really see here is that it's him or it's Adam Cole. They're my two guesses. Because that, to me, would make the most sense, especially if we're building up to that confrontation between the two best friends, former best friends, whatever they are now, going into that pay-per-view that they're going to have probably overseas next year. I imagine they might hold it to that. But that's kind of what I'm going with. I'm starting to really think that MJF is the devil. And that you're seeing, all these beatdowns. It's like, you never see the beatdowns. You see the after effects, and it's very, very similar to that, So I don't know, Jeff. It's just kind of striking me when he brought up Aces and Eights. I'm like, oh yeah. So it's interesting, and Bully is probably one of the best heels in the business. And when a guy like that talks and starts saying, kind of reminded me a little bit of something I did, you kind of want to listen sometimes. So,
yeah.
So. Who is the devil, Jeff? What are your thoughts on it, man?
I think I know who it is. I would really like it if it is somehow MJF and we get kind of a replay of the Aces and Eights story. Just kind of fill you in though. So we got a shot of MJF, Joe, beating up in the back.
We did. Okay.
And some people in the chat are saying that there was glass next to him. So who could that be? Could it possibly be Jack Perry? Who could it be at this point? A. Jobson saying it's got to be Kane. You know what? Could be. Who knows?
I got one for you. What if it's Goldberg?
You know what? I will say it's very, very interesting that Goldberg was seen today.
Yeah, he was.
And we haven't. And unless you follow him on social media, you probably haven't heard from Goldberg in a while. So, sorry.
Derek said, by the way, he caused his team to lose today.
You know what? In that case, Goldberg, travel with the Buccaneers the rest of the season. I'm all good. I'm all good with that. I mean,
could you imagine if it was Goldberg? Oh my God, dude. People would die.
People would hate. Yeah, people would absolutely hate that.
That woke Derek up. Derek's like, no.
Yeah, no. Bonkers throwing out Sammy Callahan. I don't think that's a bad thought, and I really
would be all for that.
I would love that. Absolutely, I would love that.
Yeah, I could dig that. I could dig that. Bully mentioned Hangman Page because he said, "Who do you know that drinks beer on the screen a lot?"
That's what was interesting because MJF accused him of being the devil, and then we got all of that stuff. So
yeah,
who knows, man? But I'm digging the storyline. I mean, we're gonna talk about it more in Sell or No Sell, but I'm digging it. I like what they're doing. Brandon, oh my gosh, James Ellsworth.
James Ellsworth. Oh my God.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's so I just briefly, I don't think you got a chance to watch Deadline. Did you? You didn't have a chance to watch.
No.
So just briefly, because I want to do it justice, but I will say that Trick Williams is a star, and I hope people are starting to realize that. And they really need to have Booker T's ad libs on his entrance music, like yesterday. Make it happen, someone, please. But yeah, Trick Williams is a star. He won the Iron Survivor match, and as you know, there was a CM Punk sighting at NXT.
Yeah,
and there was also a return of Cora Jade. So I got to put that picture up there because right before he came back, she posted like her reaction to when she met him when she was younger before she became a wrestler, and it was awesome. It was really awesome. So this moment between them was really cool. So
nice. Yeah, no, I didn't get to watch anything from last night. And I know that Tazzy's of course in the chat, and I heard good things. They talked about it. I've seen articles and stuff written about the winners and everything, and we heard right away last night that from some of the people in the chat that were watching and double watching both shows that they said CM Punk did indeed show up there, which really didn't surprise me that he did, because he did mention that he was going to go talk to Shawn Michaels. In fact, he did Shawn Michaels' voice, which was kind of funny. But yeah, so and yeah, there's Cora. We had a funny conversation going last night asking about where Cora had been. And of course, there's Derek right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. And we don't even have the sound effects tonight, Derek.
Yeah, I know.
We don't even have it. But right on cue. Yeah. So yeah, look, I mean, why not? Why not? Yeah, they value NXT very, very highly. It's not like they are, that it's the third wheel anymore. They value this show very highly. They've been sending people there like Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, big stars from the main roster are going there. So this is not just, this is not just a show that's a development show anymore. This is considered one of their big three now. And so I have to go watch it. I've heard nothing but good things, and this is cool, man. This is cool. Cora is up and coming. Why not be there with the guy who right now is the talk of the town? Smart, very, 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 very smart. So, Tazzy said there's 2 reasons on script. I'm not. I'm done. I'm done. Let's just say things look like they went very successfully for Cora. So, yes.
Jesus.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's hey.
I'm sorry.
You know what?
All right.
Positive things are good. So
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yes. Let's move on. I wish we could talk more about it, and I wish I would have gotten to see the show because I did hear that it was amazing. I heard it was very good, but I will end up watching it. I'll find time, probably over the next 2 days. Although, I mean, my gosh, we have Raw, we have SmackDown. I don't know. I'll have to find some time in an afternoon or something where I can tune in and check it out. But from what I did hear, it was an awesome show. And yeah, those of you who haven't seen it probably want to go check it out because I heard many good things that it got good ratings from the people who reviewed it. So good for NXT, man. They are just killing it. That's why Tazzy does the show. And make sure you check him out. He's there every single week.
And subscribe if you haven't.
Yes,
Darn
please
it.
do that. Please do that.
But yeah, it was really good, and yeah, definitely go check it out for sure.
Yes. All right.
So Joe, we go from just so people can get their comments in one last time. So we go from a great NXT show, to a roller coaster week for the word yeet, and WWE being able to use that word. So apparently at the beginning of the week, it was no more yeet. It was to yeet or not to yeet. That was the question. Apparently now we can again. So they can sell that merch again. So here we go.
Could you imagine the poor people on the production lines of these shirts? Like it would almost be like one of those things that you see in like a cartoon or an animated thing where you see the production line happening. You know, just picture this in your head. You're in a factory, right? You see the production line going and you see all the people there that are doing their jobs and stuff like that and making the production line t-shirts, right? And you see all of a sudden people comes in, the boss comes in, is like, shut it down. Shut it down. We can't do this anymore. We can't use this thing. Get it all, get rid of it all, throw it in the garbage, whatever you're going to do, burn it, do it, get it all done. And then like 2 days later, the boss comes back down. He goes, get everything going again. We're back.
We're back.
So silly, man. I'm telling you, legal stuff in our country and legal things and licensing things and all that kind of stuff. It sometimes it just ruins so many things. It ruined Friday the 13th for me for years and years because it was all tied up in legal BS. And most of the time, it's because somebody comes out and wants money. That's always what that kind of stupid stuff is about. Somebody wanted money. Somebody's seeing that Jey Uso is saying this on TV, and now all of a sudden, someone steps out and says, "Wait a minute, I had this first. You can't say this anymore without paying me." So it's always something about money. And you know what it does? It ruins it for the fans and it ruins it for us. And this stupid, just, you know what? This is multimillionaires dealing with multimillionaires. Just exchange phone numbers, get a deal done, pay the person, give him the partial whatever the hell credit he wants and be done with it. It's probably literally a drop in a bucket anyway for the WWE that's making a gazillion dollars. Just do what you got to do. And pay it and just be done with it. Get it back. I mean, you're going to sell probably the amount that you're going to give for it. You're going to sell that twice as much, double or triple that in t-shirts and everything else. Action figures with the word on it. Who knows? But man, oh man, I can't stand all that legal BS. It's so silly. But this is kind of funny how quickly this happened because you see it on one day and nope, you can't. And it was all over Twitter. It was literally, I think, the day that it happened, the major story on Twitter. Jey Uso cannot use the word yeet. And what a silly thing to be the main subject of it. Yeet was everywhere. It was trending on Twitter. It was literally trending, the word yeet. And now, well, yeet is back.
It's back.
Silly, Jeff. All this business kind of jargon, man. It really is.
Much to the chagrin of many, yeet is back. You know, it's I still bonus baby. Somebody asked, "What in the world is yeet?" Someone explain it. someone that's younger that maybe understands this, because
Hey, I don't know. I can't tell you.
I can't tell you.
Mm-mm.
I can't tell you at all.
I don't know
But
what it means. No
but
clue.
how crazy is that though? And you know what? I'm going to say something that might be somewhat controversial right now. But why not, Joe? Why not? It's our show.
Yeah, just say it.
If WWE had to get rid of the merchandise and now they have to reprint it all,
Yep.
I don't feel too sorry for them because they basically print money.
Yep.
And they've taken other things over the years from other people
Yep.
and didn't pay them for that. So you know what? If it costs you a couple mil and now you gotta, you've paid the person or whatever you're doing, good. Get it over with, do it the right way from here on out, and just be done with it. I'm tired of hearing about the legal stuff. And I mean, my God, there were numerous stories about the word yeet.
Which just goes to show you how bored people really are.
Good Lord in heaven. I mean,
the fact that yeet is trending on Twitter, my God, come on, man. It's just
A. Jobson said, I will yeet if I so desire. Well, listen, you yeet all you want to. Yes. I have no idea what the word means, so
yep,
whatever.
I really don't know.
Yeet until your heart is content, my friend.
Oh my God, yeet should be yeeted. Yeet is like bell bottoms; they just won't die. Funny part is yeet came from the Bay area. That's probably why Jey Uso uses it, because he's from there. And Jeff is like, WWE, sort your shit out.
James is my translator. I'm telling. Hey,
Derek says he sent something to you. Maybe he sent you the meaning of the word yeet. Brandon Davies says it means to throw. What the hell would he be going around saying yeet for if it means to throw? That makes no sense.
All right. So this is from Derek, Urban Dictionary here. So
here we go. This will be good.
You know it's real. Yeet, to discard an item at a high velocity. Here's the word being used in a sentence. Okay. Alex finishes his soda and proceeds to yeet his empty can into a trash bin. Thank you, Derek.
So it's a word for throw, like Brandon said. What the hell is he going around saying it for? What does he mean throw? Why would he be saying that? It makes no sense. When he comes up to the ring and he just yeet, yeet. What is he saying? Throw. That makes absolutely no sense. God. Oh my God.
Yes, Barry Monkey, like Chuck or Lob. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess but it's still, it's in the way that he uses it. And technically, if you want to translate that, then that means that t-shirt right up on the screen there means that he has written on his shirt, that he's probably selling a gazillion of them up, by the way, the word throw. All right.
But you know what, Joe? If you put the word throw on there, somebody else will come back at you and be like, hey, you can't use that.
Yeah, that's true. They'll sue him again.
You can't use that.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. What is this world coming to? It really makes me wonder sometimes the silliness of some of the things that we do. Oh, man. All right. Well, I think I'm yeeted out for one night for that.
Yeah, let's yeet this topic and go to the next.
Yes, let's do that. Yes.
There we go.
Ooh, this is a fun one.
Yeah, this is real fun.
CM Punk's promo on SmackDown was very, very, very interesting. You can sit and dissect this thing, and he went on for a good while. Some of the right off the bat, he says, "There's no time limit on me tonight. You can chant all you want." Was one of the first things that came out. So almost as if to say, I was cut off on Raw on Monday. If you want to translate, if you want to do some punk translating. And then he brought up a lot of things. And he, again, a lot of it was where he seemed genuinely grateful. He was talking to the fans and, things like that. So you're going from controversy punk to nice punk to controversy punk. It's like you're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then, he started again talking about all the wrestlers and things and how people have been so nice and everything like that. And then he started to ask the fans, well, okay, I'm going to go talk to Shawn Michaels and then I'm going to go talk to Adam Pearce next Monday and I'm going to make my decision. And then he started asking them for their input. Where do you want me? Who do you want me to fight? Where does he start off? Not the person you may have thought, though. He starts off talking about someone who isn't here. Someone who isn't here. Roman Reigns. Directly talking to Roman Reigns, saying that, don't forget, I was the OG Paul Heyman guy. And that was very interesting. Because, it kind of putting the thoughts in people's heads. It's don't wait a second. Don't automatically assume that he's going right after Seth, right? Trying to plant some different little ideas into people's heads. Maybe it's even somewhere down the road that he will take on Roman at some point, and that's kind of what he was doing. But then, of course, he gets to the person that apparently does not like the fact that he's here. And the crowd beat him to it because the crowd started chanting the song for Seth Rollins. And it just went back and forth about that. And he started talking about him and saying, and then he stated his purpose, Jeff. And he said, I am here to main event WrestleMania, which is what a lot of people knew, that was the reason why he wanted to come back. He wanted to main event WrestleMania. And I'm sure, Jeff, listening to him here, whether he wins the Rumble or not, I'm pretty much at this point certain that he will be the main event, probably of night one, against Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty much a certainty now that that's going to be the case. So whether he wins the Rumble and he gets it that way, or whether he doesn't, because at this point it could be Cody or him. There could be others that do, but it could be Cody or him that win it, and then they call their shot. If Cody wins it, of course, who he's picking. So, and then at that point, it goes to the other one. So in either case, what this does is makes me a sad panda that I didn't buy WrestleMania tickets.
Same. Now here I am. I'm about to just throw just a whole bunch of. I'm just going to throw a wild theory out there.
Yep.
Just a wild, people are going to think I'm crazy. What if CM Punk nor Cody Rhodes wins the Rumble?
That could happen. I could see that.
What if neither win the Rumble? What are you thinking then as a fan? Like let's say LA Knight wins the Rumble.
Oh my gosh.
Let's say he wins the Rumble. Let's say Randy Orton wins the Rumble.
We definitely throw a monkey wrench into a lot of plans.
Yeah. Let's say Solo Sikoa. I'm calling him a tree. Sikoa.
Well, he kind of is built like a Sikoa.
I'm looking at a picture of him on my other screen. He's a damn tree trunk.
He's kind of built like a sequoia. Yes.
I'm looking at him. I'm like, holy crap. This dude is massive. But there are a lot of things that could happen that I think, which is what WWE has done well recently, is they subvert your expectations. You think they're going this direction, and then boom, they go in this direction. You're like, okay, that's different. I like that. Pull a fast one on me more often, WWE.
Yeah.
But I think that let me ask you this question, Joe, and I'm going to ask the chat this too. So let's say, Joe, that we met when I was 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you got to know me as a 15-year-old. And then we kind of lost connection, and I came back 10 years later, and now you see me at 25.
Yep.
Do you expect me to be the same at 25 as I was at 15?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. So let's fast forward another 10 years. Now I'm 35. Do you expect me to be the same at 35 as I was at 25?
More than likely not. No.
Okay. So my question to wrestling fans is, why do you expect CM Punk to do the exact same thing that he's done his entire career and not evolve? He's going to continue to evolve. I think we got the beginning of that on Monday, and I think we got the continuation of that on Friday. He's playing mind games.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he's cooking up something, obviously.
Yeah.
He's getting in everyone's head. He's rattling some cages. But yeah, I think that for fans to be like, oh, he's just gonna trash AEW. Now listen, if you were paying attention,
he got that in too.
He got that in.
He did.
He got
slapping
that
people.
in.
What was the comment? Slapping people backstage. That's not
punching people. Punching people in 2023. That you can't do that stuff.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. And don't think that the shots backstage with him interacting with different people, don't think that wasn't a shot too, because it was.
No doubt.
So there are levels to this. I mean, there's playing checkers, and then there's playing chess.
Mm-hmm.
So you can play checkers and pop the crowd for about 10, 15 minutes, and it maybe make the rounds on social media for a little while, and it becomes a little bit funny. Or you can play chess and hit where it really hurts.
Yep.
So I saw that chess move there by CM Punk and those in charge. So yeah, I mean, I think this is a different CM Punk that we're getting. I think this is a man that is probably seeing his wrestling immortality.
Yeah.
And he has an opportunity to do something that very few. He's paving a way right now that we've never seen before. He's doing something that we haven't seen, really. So I think he sees, if I do this the right way, maybe people have to start thinking about me on that Mount Rushmore conversation. Not saying that he definitely belongs there, but in the conversation. And that's a big deal in wrestling.
Yeah. He probably also knows, Jeff, that he's not a young guy anymore.
Right.
And this could legit be his last stop. This could be for more than one reason. Maybe he wants this to be his last stop. That it could, for those people, I think, that are expecting to have the pipe bombs and all that kind of stuff, you're going to get, I think, a tamer version of it. Because I really don't see him wanting to blow this in any way, shape, or form. So, this is probably it for him. Whatever run he's going to have here, whether he's around for 2 years, 5 years, whatever the case might be, this is probably going to lead to retirement and probably going to lead to him getting into the WWE Hall of Fame at some point as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, probably what he wants to do. He's going to get the main event WrestleMania either way. And yeah, so you're right. It is. It is. It's all mind games, and he's playing mind games with the crowd. He's playing mind games with you and I. He's playing mind games with all the wrestlers as well, and the GMs of each show by deciding where am I going to go? Am I going to go to SmackDown? Am I going to go see Shawn Michaels and go there? Am I going? He's doing all that business. So, and it's must see TV.
Yeah,
everyone's going to tune in.
Yep.
Raw will be off the charts Monday with the ratings because they're going to want to see what CM Punk's decision is going to be. And I guarantee you it's also going to be a confrontation with Seth Rollins. So if you want to see that play out, that's more than likely going to happen this Monday as well. So either way, it's must-see TV. Yep. And that's what he does. Dianna says he's a needle mover. And this is why they got him. And this is what it's going to do. It's going to just up the ratings for that show. So whatever it is, like it or not, CM Punk is back, and he's going to be around for a while. So, and now it'll be fun too to listen to whether or not AEW does any sort of retort as far as the little jab that he took at them as well. So, because we know they do that. Right, they've done that for a while, even before Punk was here. So I'm assuming that will end up coming at some point too. So
yeah.
All right, man. I think we have one more piece of news, which unfortunately is not a good one.
Yeah, not a good one. Not a good one here, but yeah, we definitely want to mention it. Charlotte Flair seemingly suffered an injury on SmackDown and did not look good, Joe.
No,
not at all.
It wasn't. You can see the picture right there. It looks like she's in tears a little bit there. And she reached down and said, "My knee." They did hear that on the audio. And as you can see, they apparently they finished the match very quickly and stuff. So this does not look good. I'm really hoping it's maybe a sprain or a severe sprain or something like that. I hope that it's not a tear. If it's a tear in an ACL or a meniscus or anywhere else in the knee, she is gone for at least a year, if not more. And that sucks for her. She is, like her, hate her, or whatever. Charlotte is one of the absolute best. She is, all said and done, like her dad, is going to be a Mount Rushmore wrestler in women's wrestling, like her or not. She has paved the way for many, many, many others in this business. They don't call her the queen for no reason. And WWE is way better off with her there than they are when she's not. And it's just a shame to see this happen to anyone, especially Charlotte. Jeff, she really looked a little different to me recently. That she was really enjoying herself. A lot of times she plays a heel and she plays it fantastically well. She's always done that well. But now, she's teaming up with the faces. She always seemed to have a big smile on her face because she was in this different character and she really looked like she was enjoying it. And what a shame. That this kind of stuff happens, but this is a risk. This is something that wrestlers do, and these kind of injuries can happen very easily to them because of the amount of pressure they're putting on their limbs, their legs, jumping off of turnbuckles. This is hard stuff. And Jeff told you guys, you are falling on a wooden plank that is not cushioned in there, guys. Yeah, in any way. So there is no give, and it's springy. But whatever. But yeah, Jeff, it's just a shame. I hate talking about this at all with anyone.
Yeah.
And especially a big name like Charlotte Flair, who was probably looking forward herself, Jeff, to being at another WrestleMania this year. So let's just hope for the best. Obviously, keep her in our thoughts and in our prayers, and just hope that she is not seriously hurt, where she's going to miss a year plus.
Yeah. I hope that it's not the worst. I hope that maybe it's just a hyper extension or something like that. You just feel bad because, you don't want her to miss any time,
right?
But you definitely don't want it to be a severe injury where it requires surgery and recovery time and rehab and all that stuff. So, hoping that it's not as serious as we think. I'm sure we'll get some type of update at some point in the coming days or weeks.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, she looked happy, and
Mm-hmm.
Deanna said that she was smiling more overall. Yeah, I mean, it looked like you said, like she was enjoying it. But I also think that she's taken a different role in the locker room.
Yep.
And I think she's more of a leader back there. Not saying that she wasn't before, but I think she's more of a leader now.
Yep.
And I can kind of see that in some of the matches and some of the ways that they do different things, and the way that she's working with different people in different programs when it comes to, on the mic and everything. So I think she's taking more of that leadership veteran role now. And it's a shame sometimes that people give the hate that they do to her, because I think that they, in doing that, kind of devalue what she means to wrestling, not just women's wrestling, but wrestling as a whole.
Yep.
I think people kind of, don't appreciate her as much as they maybe should at times. But I think all I can say is I hope for the best for her, and hope that it's not a severe injury.
You'd be hard pressed to name a wrestler today who is better than Charlotte Flair. In I'll be honest, and not just women, all over. She is a freak athlete. She is just, you can mention Bianca Belair. Bianca is an amazing athlete as well, but man, the accolades she has, she will win more titles before she's done. And yeah, it's ACL 6. Yeah, it's a year. It's a year. Especially for athletes, you know that from watching football and stuff. They're out a year, and sometimes a year plus. So that sucks. And then listen, you're getting older. It's harder and harder to come back from that when your body is, when you're getting older. And then you got to sit home, and you got to rehab, and it is not fun. So yeah, she's a hard worker. Listen, we used to kind of bag on her a little bit when we used to do our shows and stuff that we were doing during COVID. We'd make fun because it's all the time. It was like, oh my God, Charlotte's on this show, she's on that show. But here's the thing: when you go back and you look back at those shows, those people were putting in double and triple time because the wrestlers were getting sick, or some of them couldn't come to the shows anymore because they just couldn't. Like in Roman's case, he's not going to risk it because of his health. People just couldn't make it. So Charlotte was there all the time because she was one of the only people who could do this kind of thing. And she was out there, and you got to remember her for that. She was, she could have said, hell no. I got a boyfriend. I'm going home. I ain't risking this. I'm not risking getting this virus, whatever the hell it is. But she didn't. She came every week. She was on the shows every week, and she was there to entertain a bunch of buildings that had no fans. So yeah, and she's amazing, and just hoping the best. Hoping the best for her. I hope we get a good report, and I hope it's not something really, really serious. So yeah. I'm sure we'll hear soon, I would imagine. All right, we're done with the news. We're moving on to we're getting what closer. Time it is. We're getting closer and closer to Festivus, guys. And you all know what time it is. It is the time for the airing of grievances. And I don't think we have. We do. Never mind.
Oh, we got it. We got it.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're gonna hear about.
I have that as a part of the video that shows. So yeah, I don't have to run that every time on the soundboard, which is I'm thankful for that.
Gotcha. I'm gonna let Jeff go on this one. I will, I'll obviously make comments as to what Jeff has to say. My only comment for this whole entire week, and it really isn't necessarily involving necessarily our show or wrestling or any of that kind of stuff. It's kind of backs up on what I say at the end of every one of our shows. And when I talk about being kind, so much, and again, this of course happened on Twitter. and I'm not going to get into it because it doesn't really involve our show or involve wrestling in any way. But please just, when you see conversations happening on Twitter, whoever that should be coming from and whatever it should be about, obviously, when people post things on Twitter, when they're posting from their heart, and you can kind of, listen, you guys have read Twitter enough to know, when stuff is garbage and when stuff is somebody's posting something they care about. Just please be, like I say every time, please be kind. If somebody's posting something up that looks as if it's something that's important to them, please don't bag on it. Don't feel the need to go and respond and say, "Oh, this is stupid," or that, what are you popping off about this cause for? This is just dumb. It's obviously, to them it's not. They're putting it out there because they want. There are so many people in this world that are lonely, so many people who don't have people to speak to or talk to, and they just want to get a thought or an idea out there. Listen, I'll be the first one to admit, when I'm doing our stuff on Twitter, I got a little trigger finger happy myself with the block button many times. And, I had Jody, who was a bit more versed in social media, she should be more than me, had kind of said to me, "Oh, hey, you're maybe you want to lay off that a little bit." And she was right. Because you just don't know. And now I'm not talking about people who are being nasty and rude. That's a different story. And even that, you're best at that point to just ignore it or block it, one way or another. But if you see somebody put something out there that seems to be like it's something that's important to them, if it's not important to you, perfectly fine. Just move on. Just ignore it. Go. You could even, if the person is in your chats and on Twitter, if they're in your Twitter feed, just unfriend them. If you don't like what they're saying, just simply click a button or just move on up the column and just unfriend them. But just don't comment just needlessly without kind of thinking what people are maybe going through in their lives or what people are dealing with. And maybe that is their only means of having joy on social media, is to express something about, as trivial as it may seem to you. It may be the only thing they have to express that day that might just make them happy. So please keep that in mind. Just a little thing about the socials, because they could be such a bad place, and you just never know. You just never know who is posting this stuff. So that's it. Just a little quick one for me. You're up, sir. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna bring up social media too, because it just seems like
we didn't even have this plan, by the way, guys.
Yeah, we didn't have this plan. I mean, it just seems like people just can't help themselves. So, full disclosure, I had a grievance plan on something completely different. My grievance was going to be about how I've seen so many people on social media bash Punk, saying he's a sellout and he's this and he's that, all because the man is happy at his job. He's happy where he is. Yeah, did he have things to say about him in the past? Absolutely. But if the people that he said those things about have mended fences with him, that's between them. If they're good, what does it matter? People change. And this is coming from someone who's not the biggest CM Punk fan. I'll be honest. I'm not, but I appreciate what he does. I will say that over the last year or so, I've come to like him more so. But yeah, so I don't even really, so what I'm going to get into, I don't even want to get into my opinion necessarily of who I think was right or wrong, because I don't think this is the situation where we need to talk about right or wrong. I think what we need to talk about is disgusting people with what I'm about to talk about here in my grievance. But the reason I had to change up what I was going to talk about is because I got on Twitter today. which you can come up with a grievance every day if you get on Twitter. But I got on Twitter today, and I'm seeing people, talking about them boys, and I know that it's been a year since the final match of Jay, um, and so like I get it, so I didn't really know what was going on, and then I saw all of this stuff being said about how WWE is just disrespectful and they're this and they're that. And I saw Mark's original tweet, and like I'm just floored because I'm seeing so many people say, like, I can't believe that they did this and all of this. So I'm going to present something to people that maybe is a new concept to some, but two things can be true at opposite ends of the spectrum here. So since I'm in marketing, I want to explain something to people. When you see a tweet that comes across from WWE on Fox or WWE, I can assure you that Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Paul Heyman, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, I can go down the list, are not the ones tweeting these things.
No.
Okay. So directing your animosity and your hatred towards them because something that comes out on their social media, I get it, but they're not the ones that are doing the social media. A lot of times what happens is they have a entry level marketing person or an intern running their social media. So with that being said, Mark did follow up and tell everyone to chill out. Absolutely. Which I respect him for doing that. I will say that I respect him for doing that. I think that when it comes to this situation, I don't think WWE did it intentionally. And people assume that because you have these tweets coming out that the people on the other side of that are posting these tweets follow the product. You would hope that they do, but maybe they're not well versed in the world of wrestling like many fans are. So maybe they don't know who the Briscoes are and where as a tag team. Maybe maybe they just thought it was catchy. They've seen it somewhere, they've heard it. Because there is a song that had this a long time before the Briscoes. The other thing is, and it's owned by Fox, not WWE, right, James? The other thing with this is the Cowboys have used We Dem Boys for how long, Joe?
Oh my gosh. Oh, jeez.
At this point, right?
I mean, I've been a fan since 77 or 78, in and around there when I was like 8 years old. I heard that saying, oh my gosh, probably back in the Tom Landry days.
Decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, decades. Yeah. And that's not at all saying anything negative about Mark. Because here's what I want to say about this, and this is why this upset me so much. Mark has every right to be upset. If he felt disrespected, it was okay for him to feel that way. Why? Because he's still grieving his brother. It is okay. If friends, close friends, if people that he worked with over the years, if they felt some type of way about it, okay. They're allowed to grieve how they need to grieve. But here's where the problem lies. We have people on social media who feel that that's an appropriate time for them to co-opt whatever's going on, whatever the hot topic is, whatever the negativity or whatever the drama is that day on Twitter, they have to co-opt that and now turn that into their agenda for hating the other company. And I saw it from all fans. So I don't want to hear any, and I hate referring to people as WWE or AEW fans, but I don't want to hear either side saying, well, they started it or they were worse. I don't care because I saw it from both and it's disgusting. If you're a WWE fan, don't disrespect the man that is grieving his brother. Don't disrespect people that were close to him. It's not the time for your bull crap. I hate AEW, so let me disrespect everybody and everything about the company because let me do it here on Twitter since I wouldn't do it in person because you'd crap your freaking pants. And then on the other side, oh, WWE so disrespectful. They did that intentionally. All right. I think it was a horrible coincidence, especially given the day. But I don't think that they would do that intentionally when they were very, very, I was very surprised when WWE did a tribute when he passed. I was very surprised. But I was happy that they did it because it showed at that point that it's bigger than wrestling. It's bigger than this fandom bull crap that happens on social media. It's not a real place. It's not real. Another thing that I can tell you about how I know that the whole Twitter discourse between wrestling fans is not real is because the people that were there on Friday for SmackDown didn't react the way that a lot of people thought they should have when CM Punk said the thing. It's not real, folks. I'm so tired of people in this tribalism bullcrap. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it from both sides. I'm just so tired of the negativity around something that we should all be enjoying and love. It's frustrating. Yes, they did. They did, James. I mean, it's just so frustrating as a fan. It's frustrating as a content creator. It's frustrating as a father to see these things happen. Because my son and my daughter, they love wrestling. Right now, they're at the point where they're just soaking it all in. They're loving every moment of it. And here I am trying to enjoy the moments with them, but I'm looking at something on stinking Twitter, and it's like you're ripping the love of it away from me because you want to be stupid. So all I'll say is this. If you don't like WWE, that's fine. You don't have to. If you don't like AEW, that's fine. You don't have to. But some situations don't require your comment. And a situation like today, where there was a horrible coincidence, a grieving brother and friends standing up for their fallen friend, that's not the time nor the space to make it about your hatred for the other company. There are people grieving a person that was lost. That's all. I'm done.
The kicker to all of this is, and this is where it makes this all even worse. The wrestlers don't feel anything like this. The wrestlers are not like this. When he passed away, you heard nothing but good thoughts about the Briscoes from so many wrestlers, so many people who knew them just from being in the indies and backstage and stuff like that. So it is not coming from them. It is not coming from the wrestlers. They don't think this way at all. When did this tribalistic garbage all start? I just don't get it. It's people hating to hate. And it's just gross. It's disgusting. I play a card game online. It's a goofy little mobile game, right? There's people that are tribalistic about that. They're going on and they're bitching about stupid. I mean, my God, it's a game, for God's sakes. Who cares? But I honestly think it's a cry for help. I think it's a cry for attention. It has to be. It has to be. What I hate about it the most is that there are content creators out there who feed on it. That's what I can't stand. And not just, small shows, but big name people that do this for a living. They feed on it. They know what it is, and yet they will still do things to ignite it because it gets them views. And that is disgusting. You are doing this to people to get money for yourself without any concern whatsoever about what you are starting. And it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And I don't even have to name names. There are plenty of them. Plenty of them. And it's gross, man. If this is how, listen, I hope when down the road, when they're old and gray and they can't be doing this anymore because, your time comes and goes, you can't certainly be on here at 70, 80 years old anymore because you'd get laughed off the screen. I hope when that time comes, I hope you sit back and you reflect and you really start to think of what you did and how many lives you may have ruined. And live with that for the rest of your life. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
That's gross.
It is gross. I'm not gonna say the exact quote. Because I'm not gonna say the exact quote, but what I will say is I heard a very, very wise quote in a film, and I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but it cost you $0.00 to mind your own freaking business. So
yep,
yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right, so Joe, it's that time, my friend.
We're gonna do a little sell or no sell. Yes.
Yeah, a little sell or no sell. So here we go.
Let's go. You guys know how this works. If you like it, you sell it. If you don't, you no sell it. Pretty simple stuff. Play along with us in the chat, and we're going to get into our topics for the night. We've got 3 of them coming, so please participate in the chat. Let us know what you think, and I'll call it out. So let's go. Sell or no sell, Jeff. What do we got?
All right. Sell or no sell. Here we go. Make it large there for everyone to see here at first. So first topic here. Starting off a little spicy. If TNA can only sign one knockout between Mercedes Moné and Camille, they should sign Mercedes Joe. Sell or no sell.
Oh, man, this came from our show last night a little bit because we were all talking about Camille. And listen, if you don't know Camille and what she's done for wrestling, boy, oh boy, you really need to brush up because she broke a long-standing record for females who have held the title in NWA. She had that title for a record-breaking amount of time. So please, if you don't know who Camille is, I'd rather you say in the chat, I've never watched Camille's matches. I don't know who she is. Rather than to discount what she did because it was historic. And Camille is an amazing wrestler. From the time when we were watching her in NWA, when it was just on YouTube, up to now, she is phenomenal. She used to kind of hang around with Nick Aldis when they had that faction going at one point in time too. She is outstanding. For me, This is a tough call because I would be over the moon with either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to, man, I am going to, this is so hard. I thought
It
I'd be
is.
able to just blurt it out and say it, but I can't. And you know what's funny is this was my opinion about 3 months ago. I had said that if they're not going to get a big name, and they missed on Ospreay, which they obviously did, and they're not going to get a really big name, I had said that I really think that they need a kind of a big name there. You know what? Maybe they don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm 100% wrong. Maybe they don't need a big name. They signed Trent Seven last night. That's a pretty big signing. Maybe they don't need a big name, because maybe I'm overlooking the talent they already have. Plus the people who, are going to be on some of their shows. I don't know. You know what? I'm looking at this up there now. I think I'm going to no sell it. And I probably would have sold it 4 ways to Tuesday over the last 3 or 4 months. But
Heck, Joe, you would have sold it 2 weeks ago, probably.
I would have. But I'm starting to think a little different in a couple of different ways. And when we mentioned Camille on the show last night, I'm like, damn. Because I kind of even Camille, it even just slipped my mind too. Now that's not saying she wants to go. And again, we talk about this all the time. Maybe she's happy where she is, and that's perfectly fine.
Well, she's a free agent as of January 1.
All righty then.
Yeah. She's exploring her options.
I'm gonna no sell it now. And like I said, I probably definitely would have sold it, but you know what? People can change their minds.
Yeah.
What do you got, man?
Man, so this is a tough one. Because both are incredible.
Yep.
For different reasons.
Yep.
I think it comes down to if I were the one signing contracts and doing all of that, I would want to know, are you with me for a year? Because that would be the commitment that I would need, I think.
Yep.
Especially if I'm looking to relaunch this thing and doing it in a way where I'm building up the names that I have so more people are exposed to those names. So if I'm looking at it from that standpoint, I don't think Mercedes would stay there a year, not in a disrespectful way, but I think she has so many other opportunities. And I'm not just talking about wrestling. She's got the movie stuff. She's got the TV stuff. She's got all of that she can do. Modeling, whatever she wants to do, she can do it. Or she could just go back to the WWE if that's what she wanted to do too. Yep. That could happen. So I think, Joe, I'm going to no sell it. If I were in charge, I would sign Camille. I'd sign her long term. And yeah, I think she's awesome. And I know Clown, if you guys could do me a favor in the chat, pull up some Camille clips, send those, post those links in the chat. Clown said he hadn't seen Camille before, so I want to make sure that we can get some clips to Clown so you can see who we're talking about and why we feel like this is such a huge deal if TNA were to be able to get her, and why we're no selling this topic because of how good she is, how dominant she's been. And here's the other thing. I want you to think about this. Joe, how long did she not speak?
Oh my God.
And everyone was like, okay, is this going to be the week? Is this going to be the week?
Yep.
Okay, she's going to speak this time. She's got to speak. Everybody was drawn into her, and she didn't say a word for a while.
Yep.
And then, and then she started speaking, and then you saw her, wrestling more, and You know, it wasn't just her just picking up and body slamming people.
Yeah.
It was, you know, you were seeing more, and it was like, wow, you know, she's really cool. I can get behind this, and you know, I think she's awesome. Like she's so talented. So yeah, I think if you haven't seen her, go check out the videos.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what everybody's saying. Chris is selling, Brandon selling, James Grant selling, A. Jobson, Brandon Wayne Lewis says yes, Dylan says sell, I guess. Although it's a tough choice, says RK Shuttlesworth. A is convinced that Sasha's going back to WWE. Chris says I retract my choice. I try to make these difficult times. No sell. Camille is awesome, says Tazzy. Derek says, oh, I've seen Camille.
Oh, gosh.
God, dude. AJ is coming back. Nah, I'm not so. I wouldn't be so sure about that. I wouldn't be so sure about that one. Sell, no offense to Camille, but she's not going to gain viewers. Deanna says no sell. Never seen Camille. No seen Camille in TNA. Camille in TNA would be better. Cannot choose because of lack of information. Fair enough. Sell, no sell. I think over time she could gain viewers, even though some people don't know her right now. This is a tough call because they're both good, and to me, they should sign both of them. Well, imagine that. The Knockouts make their own names. Sell, love Camille, but Mercedes is more versatile. Sell, damn, Jeff, they got the 50 years of hip hop on TV. Dougie Fresh can still go.
Oh,
Where did that come from?
I gotta see that. That's
did that one come from? I'm going to sell it because Monet could make the Knockouts version more, make them better, and also the Trinity factor. I don't know if Mercedes would be in for a long haul or not. That's the thing. Camille is a 10 on all accounts. I have Camille pics in my phone. Says, oh, God, dude. You're just digging yourself a hole. Her first word is the B word. Link to Camille versus Taya Valkyrie in NWA 74. There you go. Yeah, go check that out. Good night, Jeremy. All right, moving on. What's our next topic, man?
I'm sending a comment to Mark there because he brings up a valid point. But I'm starting to change on the whole big splash thing, Joe. And I explained it there in my comment. I think that, you know, we can all say they need to make a big splash. And I'm not saying that it's bad business to bring in a big name, because it's not bad business and it's rather smart.
Yep.
But what if they're able to take names like Josh Alexander, like Crazy Steve, like Diener, like Jordan Grace, and make those household names just like Britt Baker, MJF, Roman Reigns?
Yep.
I mean, what if they're able to do that now?
Yep.
So I think I'm starting to that's the direction my mind is going in now. Now you need some notable names, I think. So signing someone like Trent Seven, that's big.
Right.
If you sign Camille or Mercedes, that's huge.
Yep.
That's going to bring more eyes. Yes. So, but I think now I'm liking the, you know, let's do this on our own. Let's be the folks that get all of the attention now. Let's become household names. I think they can do that.
Yeah. No, I agree.
All right. So I'll go to the next one. I'll stop on my soapbox. All right, next topic. I'll make this one big so everyone can see it. CM Punk's promo and interactions on SmackDown have you hyped for potential matches and programs, Joe? Sell or no sell?
I think this one's a pretty easy one after the last one. Yeah, I'm sold. Even more so than I loved the obvious interaction talking about Seth. I like the stuff with Roman, which intrigues me even a little more than the Seth stuff does. The Seth stuff thing is the Seth stuff thing is that's pretty obvious. We all know that that's going to happen. sooner than later. So that's a pretty obvious one. But I think the Roman stuff intrigues me. Wouldn't you guys love to hear him in a program mouthing off to Roman Reigns in the ring, saying, and just the kind of stuff that he said last night? Where the hell were you? Where have you been? When, what gives you the right to think you can be off this show for months on end and just come back for pay-per-views? I mean, I don't know. That intrigues me even more. And then you got the whole war over Paul Heyman, because you're going to have him torn as well. Yes, it's the tribal chief and all that stuff, sure. But this is the guy who was with him from the start.
Joe, but what if they really get really crazy? Because you have a third part of that too.
You bring in Brock. Paul's head would explode. It just that. But see, that's what I'm saying. CM Punk is going to get his WrestleMania match. He's just is. It's going to happen. It's going to more than likely be Seth Rollins. 90%, it's going to be Seth Rollins. But then what happens after? Are they going to throw him the title? I'm not so sure. In fact, don't be shocked if Punk costs him the title in this match and Damian Priest doesn't walk away with it. Don't be surprised if that happens, because that just extends the feud even more with those two. And then you just have them go on and on and on and on and on in whatever they want to do, and you're going to have them battling forever, because now not only are the stakes so high and Punk hates his guts and he hates him, but now he cost him his title, which would be huge. So don't be shocked that happens, because it could very well. We saw him escape barely last year in the match that he had. Could have been a cash in. So something's got to happen with Priest. So don't be shocked if that happens, but I'm intrigued by any way you're going to go here. I mean, look at the possibilities. Not only do you have an upcoming feud with Seth, which is going to happen, but you also have a possible thing where he could end up going in a feud with Roman, or he could have feuds with Randy Orton, or he could have a feud with Cody Rhodes at some point. I mean, all of this is out there. Definitely excited for potential matches and programs for sure. And listen, whenever you have this guy in a ring and he has the mic, you just never know what's going to happen. So yeah, I'm definitely hyped for it. This is an easy sell for me.
Yeah, I'm going to sell it. I'm into it. I mean, you think about that match, Joe. No title on the line. You don't need the title.
Yep.
Especially with these two guys.
Yep.
Like, you don't need a title on the line for them to main event WrestleMania Night 1 and absolutely tear down the house and say, hey, Night 2, good luck following that. Because that's what they're going to do.
Very true.
I mean, that's what they're going to do if that's the direction they go. But as Punk was walking backstage, I started getting more and more intrigued by different people that he would come across, like LA Knight. You want to talk about
oh my God,
battle on the microphone.
Oh boy. Yep. And you don't think that would boost him up to another level? Yep. Yep.
I mean, obviously Kevin Owens.
Yep. Yeah, he's another one. I mean, hell, him and Sami Zayn. You just put names out there.
Yeah. I mean, you just throw them out there. So yeah. I'm definitely into this. I'm digging what they're doing. And for the love of God, folks, let the man enjoy it. If he's happy, just deal with it. Why are you crying because he's happy in WWE? I know why, but I won't get into that. All right. Next, we'll go to the next topic. Okay. We're going back to the Devil storyline here. AEW's Devil storyline is a great long-term story for the company to build on, Joe. Sell or no sell?
Yeah, I'm going to sell this. I think it's intriguing enough. Everybody's talking about it. It's it's kind of a side note. I think I think they would have been doing this with, if Adam Cole hadn't gotten hurt. Maybe not. Maybe not. But it's an interesting little side story here because it has people guessing. It has people talking. A lot of people are talking about this. So yeah, I think it's a pretty easy sell. It gets talked about weekly on the show. You're always getting things from it. Who is this guy or girl? Or so many people are mentioning so many names. Britt Baker, to Adam Cole, to Roderick Strong. So many names are being mentioned week after week after week. And now I just talked tonight about it could be MJF himself. But I think it's a good thing for them. Again, it's something that brings people back to watch week after week after week because they want to see, well, are they going to reveal who this is? And they're probably not going to for a good long time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to keep going and going and going and going. They're not going to tell you who this is for a while. It depends on where they're going to keep this, or where this leads to and stuff like that. I'm sure it'll be a pay-per-view. That they'll show, who and reveal who it was. But yeah, I think this is a pretty easy sell. It's definitely interesting. It makes headlines in wrestling. So yeah, this is a sell for me.
Yeah, this is an easy sell for me too. I think this is being done very well. But it's also, so when we get the reveal of the devil, hopefully we don't find out who is helping the devil then. Hopefully they let that play out a little bit longer.
Yep.
I mean, not as long as this is going, but a little bit longer, a few months, and then you reveal one person and then you reveal someone else and why they had an issue with MJF and how all of this stuff I mean, just there are a lot of directions that you can go, and I really like it because, like you said, it's getting people talking and you're getting people theorizing. Now, I will say this: they have to stick the landing on this. They absolutely have to make this reveal work.
Yep.
Because if people feel like they got gypped, if they feel like they got hustled somehow, then it's going to bring you bad reviews on that and bad publicity. But I think they'll nail the execution on it. I do.
Yeah, I think so too. If it turns out to be Tony Khan, I'm never watching AEW again. Could you imagine if it's not Tony Khan? Could you imagine if the mask comes up and you hear it go, woo, and it's Ric Flair?
All right, let me ask the chat this. What's a name that two-part question here. Who do you think it is? And who's a name that you would absolutely lose your crap? Like, this is the worst thing ever if they reveal this person to be the devil.
The worst one is going to be the easy one, I think. The worst one's going to be the funny one to see. Goldberg.
That's what I'm going for. I want to see some funny ones.
Goldberg. That's the worst. Could you imagine that to be the worst? Oh my! If it was Vince, that would blow up the internet, like literally blow up the internet. Could you imagine? Could you imagine Vince McMahon was like,
oh gosh,
we're starting the whole WCW thing over again?
Oh gosh.
God. Yeah, that would be a mess. And I definitely think it's Adam Cole, and worst is Tony Khan. I think it's Jack Perry. The worst would be Tony Khan. Everybody's saying Tony Khan is the worst. Ric Flair, it's the Black Scorpion all over again. It's Gilbert, actually. It's not Goldberg, it's Gilbert. It's Triple H. He's going to buy AEW. Eugene. There you go. Now we're getting some good ones. Eugene. Oh my God, dude. Yeah. Oh man. Shane O'Mac. Could you imagine? You imagine?
Wow.
I'm back, baby.
Wow.
Shane O'Mac. That's awesome. Oh my
Wow.
God. That's funny stuff. That's awesome. Good stuff. Well, that is our sell or no sell segment,
Yeah.
folks, and we are on to our new segment, Jeff, that we are doing now every week.
Yeah. Burning question of the week, and this is I really like this question. I feel like this question is this is a good one, Joe. This is a really good one. So I'm gonna bring it up here in a second.
Our burning question of the week this week is: what do you think Impact Wrestling's legacy in wrestling will be? Yeah, this is definitely a good one. That they ran from 2017. We had to look it up last night and get people from the chat to tell us, but they went from 2017 to 2023, so 6 years. What do you think their legacy will be? I mean, obviously, for when you're talking about the word legacy and in the terms of the definition of the word, you would kind of like to see a longer time, right? Yeah, when you're speaking of legacies, a lot of times you're talking, decades or 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Obviously, Impact wasn't around for that long, but it's a great question, and we'll put it out to you guys. What do you think? What is going to be the lasting thing that you're going to remember from Impact Wrestling? And it doesn't just have to be the wrestlers themselves. Some people are going to say wrestlers who are no longer there and things like that. It doesn't just necessarily have to be them. But it could be something meaningful that Impact, that Impact brought to you, and the reason why you watched it. I'm gonna throw out two things for me, because again, I just started watching this when Jeff told me about it, and so for me, there are two things that are going to stand out. The first one for me, what I think a legacy for them will be, is they brought back my love of tag team wrestling. I think that tag team wrestling as a whole has kind of been dwindling, and definitely was. I mean, we hardly saw any of it on WWE, and when it was just people getting together to just throw them out there in a ring. They're not permanent members of a tag team and stuff like that. That was happening for so long, and now I think because of Impact, that you're starting to see that come back in a major way in the big companies. WWE is doing it a little more, but again, the matches that I saw from the start of Impact, where it was the Motor City Machine Guns against the North, and some other matches that we had down there over the years. Motor City just is going to be involved in so many of them, but just brought me back my love for tag. I watched wrestling for many, many years because of tag team wrestling. I just have always loved it. I was always enamored by it, even from when I was a kid watching. And Impact brought it back for me. Absolutely loved seeing the tag team matches that were on there, and thought some of them were just absolutely tremendous. And the other thing, and this is probably going to be, I think, a lot of people's pick as well, and this is another obvious one, though, would be the knockouts. The knockouts in the women's division, I think, is absolutely huge. They have paved the way, I think, for a lot of other companies to show them how their women can main event big pay-per-views, and you're not going to miss a beat. Women of all kinds, all different personalities, but just, I mean, for them to emphasize it when in other companies we're seeing it kind of put on the back burner and de-emphasized a little bit. And I'm not saying WWE is innocent of that either. There was a time where they weren't really, sure, they had the Charlottes always, right? They had the Biancas, but it got a little stale because they were the ones who were always carrying the titles. And now that's changing. You're seeing women's factions in WWE. You're seeing women's tag team matches. Hell, every Monday you're seeing women's tag teams out there, right? And I dig it. I really dig it. I think it's a very big thing for the wrestling industry as a whole. Because of, and we saw Stephanie do the women's movement, and I think that other company over there, that young AEW company, I think they need to learn, and they need to learn from it, and they need to show me something. With it, they have so many talented women there. Let's go. Let's get on this bandwagon. This is the way to go in wrestling today, and I want to see it. And I think they all took a cue, Jeff. From I don't know how many times I need to say this, but they have taken a cue from the best women's division in pro wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when it comes to Impact's legacy, I think the thing for me is, one, the Knockouts division. I mean, Joe just said it. A lot of you have said it in the chat. Yeah, I mean, just phenomenal. The second thing for me is I feel like they were able to take people that were told no or given some BS reason why they weren't getting more time, and they gave them a home, and it revitalized their careers. In some cases, they've stayed. In other cases, they've gone back to where they were, and because of their time and impact, they were able to increase their value, increase their positioning in the company. So those are the things that really stand out to me. And the other thing that I'll say is Scott D'Amore and the people behind the scenes were never afraid to take chances. Whether it was the comedic stuff, or whatever it was, or I mean, trying new matches, the work that they did during the pandemic. I mean, just I hope that people fondly remember Impact Wrestling and give them the credit they deserve.
Yep. Agreed. Absolutely agree. Let's see what some people are saying here. Legacy being the true alternative and being a safe place for wrestlers to work. What they did with the Knockouts division in that time was huge. Legacy is the superstars that they created. Let's see. Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame. Who's ready for story time with Adam Cole? That's from the previous comment. No matter how much people would say it's dead next week, it just wouldn't die. I think in decades to come, women's division, Impact proves a small company can do great weekly shows with stories that can stand the test of time, gives others a chance to show value in who they are as a performer. We got managing while in the pandemic, Tessa Blanchard being the first knockout to win the world title, the first knockout Ultimate X, and the first Queen of the Mountain match. Another legacy, how much they care about the women's division, AAA, TNA, YouTube. Okay, I'm going to get a lot of heat on this one, but here is what I think. My feeling is that Impact Wrestling helped AEW get on its feet when Kenny Omega went over to Impact. If Kenny hadn't done that, I don't think people would have known about him. Putting the Briscoes on TV, let people show what they can do. There would be no LA Knight if there was no Eli Drake. There would be no Chelsea Green if there wasn't a hot mess. No Scottish Warrior with no Drew Galloway. TNA Classic, casing point, Chelsea Green. They even helped with the career of Cody Rhodes. Impact's willing to be silly, laugh at the obscurity of wrestling, laugh at itself. I can't imagine anyone else doing IPW. That kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you actually mentioned that, because that kind of stuff is big. That kind of stuff is really, really big. That the fact that I loved all that stuff, man, and I'm gonna miss it. If they choose not to go and do that kind of stuff anymore, I'm truly gonna miss it. And not just IPWF, but Wrestle House, Swingers Palace, all that stuff that they would do behind the scenes with wrestlers when they necessarily or didn't necessarily have a spot for them, maybe on the weekly show. I thought that's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal way, I thought, to use your talent And I absolutely love that. So I hope that continues, but if they choose not to, I get it. But I love that. And I think it was really, really awesome, especially during the pandemic.
Yeah.
All that stuff we saw in the Wrestle House and things like that during the pandemic was just really, really fun. And it made me laugh. And it was at a really good time, much, much needed. So, yep, good stuff. That is our burning question of the week. We're moving on to favorite moments, Jeff.
Favorite moments of the week, man. A lot of good moments this week.
Yeah, for sure. Top 3 favorite moments of the week, guys. Play along with us. Go 3, go 2, go 1. We're going to start at number 3. Jeff, give me your number 3 moment of the week, man.
Number 3 for me. Oh, this is a tough one. All right, number 3 for me. I'm going to go with Final Resolution as a whole. I thought it was a really, really good, just a really good card, and they pulled some surprises on us, so we weren't prepared with the graphics. Thanks, Impact. But no, it was a good night, and a really good way to send off Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, for sure. My camera wigged out. I don't know why it's blurry. I apologize. You'll just have to deal with blur for a little bit. It might even itself out. It does this from time to time because it has a weird lens. Anyway, my number 3, I'm going back to R-Truth, man. I can't get this guy's going to be making my top 3 list every single week. Good God, man. He's back in the locker room again. They're saying that they need to get the locks changed. He goes out to the ring though this time and costs them the tag team match. I love this. He is now the thorn in the side of the Judgment Day. And if you go back to storylines from years past, there have been cases of this before when you have these factions happening and the factions seem like they're so serious. And then all of a sudden there's someone who becomes a thorn in their side. And R-Truth is going to be a thorn in the side of the Judgment Day. And so I love it. I love what he does. I love how, and the thing is, they're going to get to the point where they're going to want to use violence against him, but they can't seem to beat him up because he's so innocent. And what he puts out there is just so, I'm not doing this. I'm just big fans of your guys and all this other kind of stuff. And I love it. That's the kind of stuff that R-Truth can bring to the table. And I just absolutely love it. I'm having so much fun watching it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got out there. 3 for Tazzy, CM Punk and Shawn Michaels for getting their lines in the opening of NXT Deadline. I'm going to have to watch that show. It seems like there's a lot of cool stuff in there. The house that AJ Styles built. Number 3, men's Iron Survivor match for Alexa Bliss Gamer. Punk promo on SmackDown, says James Grant. Lash Legend slamming Otis on said Bonkers. Bonus Baby says Rush getting choked out, then popping back up pissed after he lost. Randy and Jimmy and Randy versus Jimmy Uso. Okay, so the Randy Orton stuff from SmackDown, says Brandon Lewis. I still say that R-Truth is going to help Judgment Day implode as Sami Zayn helped implode Bloodline. It could very well be. Yeah, could very well be. All right, we're going to move on. What are your number 2s, guys? Jeff, what's your number 2, man?
Number 2 might not be very popular with some, but it's popular with me, so I'm going with it. Number 2 for me is seeing a happy CM Punk.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I'd be lying if I said I haven't become a little bit more of a fan. Just seeing him kind of, maybe it's all just for show right now. I don't know, but I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, and I'm happy that it seems like he's happy and having fun, and I think that's important. So yeah, that's my number 2.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? We're going to share that. We're probably going to share our number one. I'm betting you too. Yeah, for me, Punk's promo all around, I just liked it a lot. Wasn't really sure what he was going to say or what he was going to do because of what happened on Monday, but it was pretty much perfect. I just liked how, he had the fans in the palm of his hand, deflected a little bit many times, and especially with the Roman stuff and going that direction. I kind of like that because everybody's expecting the other way around. So yeah, I just I loved how they went with it, and Jeff's 100% right. He really does seem like he's happy out there. He's smiling a lot, and so yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely a happy CM Punk that we're seeing, and can't wait to see more of what's going on. So yeah, totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Number 2, Punk's promo. Pete Dunne, CM Punk's promo. Eddie Kingston versus Claudio, says Bonkers. 2 number 2s, and they both have to do with Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
Oh my God! What are you trying to be, Derek? Bonus baby? Is that what you're trying to do?
Gimmick infringement.
Is that what you're trying to do there? Yeah, come on, man. Number 2 for me is SmackDown Punk's promo, Orton and Knight versus the Bloodline. A. Jobson says number 2 is Yeet. Felt like the weight was kind of lifted off his shoulders, says Mark. Number 3, John G's, was Punk's promo. So, All right, we're moving on. Our number 1 moment of the week.
Number 1.
So everyone give us your number 1s. What was your favorite moment in wrestling this past week, Jeff? I kind of think it's going to be the same thing. What is your number 1?
My number 1 favorite moment of the week was that.
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
That was my favorite moment of the week.
And why not?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, such a cool moment, and I'm trying not to choke up, so bear with me. But JJ, Cody Rhodes is JJ's favorite wrestler. And the smile on that kid's face in that picture, it's just awesome. And he just kept saying, I can't believe I got to meet my favorite wrestler. This is the best day ever. Like he was really happy about it. And just a quick story. So my daughter Kinsley was really nervous. She's not a big fan of big crowds and loud noises, and she's only 5, and so she's getting more comfortable. We're trying to get her more comfortable with those things. So she was there, and at first she really wanted to take a picture, and then she didn't want to take a picture. And Cody kind of noticed that. So he says, "Hey, I'm Cody. What's your name? And how old are you?" And she, said, "My name is Kinsley. I'm 5." And he says, "Do you want to take a picture? Why don't you get in here with us?" And it was really special for him to do that. And then so yesterday I tweeted out after this, thank you to Cody and to Heroes Hideout, the store that hosted the event, and he liked my tweet.
That's awesome.
And I was like, man, that's so cool. That's awesome that he liked it. That was freaking awesome. And then today he retweeted it, or whatever it's called now. He quote tweeted it and said, "Lovely meeting y'all." I mean, I showed the kids that this morning, and they were like, "Oh my God, that means we're like almost famous now or something." And we just had a laugh about it. But yeah, it was a cool moment. Something I will never forget. And I'm just so thankful that my kids got to have that experience. And Cody was awesome. He was so nice. So shout out to Cody. Really, really an awesome dude, man.
Yeah, when I saw that, you could see the smile on his son's face. That when you have kids, you kind of you see things that you remember when you were a kid in your children. And when I saw that, it took me back. And I've told this story before about when my dad used to take me to shows, and the night that Andre the Giant like patted me on the head was like one of the coolest things that's happened. These people are like celebrities, right? And when you get to meet your heroes, like I said to Jeff, sometimes, unfortunately, in life, sometimes when you do that, you're disappointed a little bit sometimes because maybe they're not so nice. Maybe they don't act so nice when you do get to meet them, and it's a little disappointing. But obviously, that wasn't the case. Cody was every bit the hero that Jeff's son thought he would be, and that's fantastic to see. That makes you grow up and realize that there's good people in this world, and that's a really good thing. I don't have another one. This was basically the cool moment for me of the week too. I thought this was really neat when Jeff shared it with me, and I saw all the stuff. And man, Jeff had to wait in a huge line, as a lot of people. He showed me pictures of the line in the mall there and stuff. But yeah, look. It's so cool when these athletes have time to give back. They don't always have it. Let's not, we see all the bad, right? We see so much of the bad with people rushing Asuka in an airport and stuff like that, which is a joke. These people, you got to remember, they live away from their homes for so long. They're on the road constantly, going from airport to airport. In fact, Jeff said he went from Albany to Utica right away. So he hopped the plane and went to Utica to do a show after sitting in a mall for upwards of how many hours that he had to sit in basically the same place on probably not a very comfortable chair. It's not like they have thrones for these people in there, and sign autographs and take pictures all day long. That's pretty cool. And so, yeah. He really looks like watching his biography and stuff like that, as I did, it just seems like he's a genuinely good dude. And listen, what better role model can kids have watching wrestling than a genuinely good guy? And now you know why they all sing his song when he comes out to the ring. People know it word for word, much like they did with Jericho's. And so, yeah, very, very cool. Very, very cool. I want to just shout out just a quick PS on mine, and that is the way that we were able to say goodbye to Impact. I think is also up there because the way they went out was just fantastic. The show last night, I thought, couldn't have really been done much better, and we got to say goodbye to a show that we watched and enjoyed for a long time, and the way they did it was just phenomenal. So good stuff. Let's see what people's number ones are out in the chat. We got a one. CJ's return says Trick winning the Iron Survivor Challenge. My number one, just for kids, the final event of the Impact era. Jimmy Uso selling off the RKO. Anyone know if Jimmy is still stretched out from Friday night? That's like the second time he's done that now. He almost got rolled up in carpet the week before, or the mat. Seeing how happy Mike Bailey was with his partner, I watched thinking he's not stopped smiling, then realized it was his white gum shield. Punk and Kevin backstage segment. Men Iron Survivor 1B Trent 7 signing. Trick Williams winning the Iron Survivor Challenge. Well deserved. Whoop that Trick, says Tazzy. Trick winning Survivor Challenge, said John G as well. CJ's return. Cora Jade returning and meeting her idol, CM Punk, on video. Jeff and his kids meeting Cody Rhodes. Trick winning the men's Iron Survivor. Control, not sure what you mean there. Cora Jade return. Number one. I think that, yeah. All right. There you go. Good stuff. It was a good week this week. It really was. We got a lot of great stuff, top to bottom, Monday to Sunday. It was just a really good week, and we don't get that a lot. We don't get to see that all the time. A lot of times we have to deal with some negative. Obviously, we had the Charlotte injury was, I think, the biggest negative that we ended up seeing this week, and hopefully we will hear better news and good news about her and where she goes from here and how the injury is. So. All right, guys. Well, look, that's going to do it for us for this week. I'm going to get out of here and start watching the Cowboys game. But yeah, please join us in our next stream. Again, if you're new to our channel, I know I should say this more often, but we get so involved in this show that we just, we talk about a lot of stuff and we get off track. But if you're new to our channel, please consider subscribing. We really would like to see you subscribe to the channel, come out and enjoy some stuff with us. I'm hoping we get some more subs in for Impact, and maybe, like I said, even some of you who come out to this show every Sunday night, maybe you're not watching Impact, and I'm hoping you do. I'm hoping you give it a shot when TNA starts up in January. So I'm hoping you come out and check it out with us. And we're going to still be here every single Thursday and every single pay-per-view like we have. So I hope you do that. Please subscribe. Please make sure you like the video for us tonight as well. We had a pretty steady crowd in there, 40 to 50 some people. Please make sure you all drop a like. It's really, really important for the videos and for the content. So please make sure you do that as well. And hit the notification bell as well if you want to be notified about when we've got future content. And as of right now, the schedule stays the same. We will be back on Thursday, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or something. We don't exactly know what yet because, Impact will, I guess, let us know as to what they're going to do. If it's going to be just an award show, then we might do a classic TNA event that we can get out there that we can watch for just like, the same amount of time. We're not going to go 4 hours with something. It's going to be the same amount of time that the 2-hour show and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to do. Watch out for our awards. The TIGS Awards vote is going to be out there, has to be out there by probably later Tuesday or Tuesday night. So watch for that on our socials, Twitter. The link will be on Twitter. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on Facebook as well. Get out there and vote. They are your awards. Get the votes in, and we're going to see you for the awards show on the 7th of January. So yeah, that's it, guys. We'll be right back here also next Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. as always to wrap up next week's wrestling, which should be big. We got CM Punk on Monday on Raw and his announcement and where he's going to go. So big stuff coming. Always fun in the wrestling world, and I know this week's going to be fun as well. So that's it, guys. For Jeff and for myself, thank you all so much for coming out and watching us and spend the last couple hours with us on a Sunday night. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had fun. Please, as I always say, be kind to one another. Please stay safe, and hopefully we will see you all on our next show. Enjoy the wrestling, guys. We'll talk to you all soon. Good night, everybody.